When you hear the terms slice of life anime, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Well, chances are, if you've seen any anime, ever, then more than likely it's going to be quirky teenagers in a school environment. But the actual definition of the term slice of life would mean a realistic representation of everyday events. Everyday events. Everyday events. Everyday events. Everyday events. Now, what makes slice of life stories different than many others are that they preferably contain an even balance of romance, drama, and comedy. And considering that this is everyday events that we're dealing with in the story, and the setting is usually something that is very mundane, something that we are used to, then the full brunt of keeping the story interesting relies on the characters, so characterization is crucial. So considering that these settings are always tied down into realism, this means that the golden element within slice of life stories is the human condition. So it doesn't matter where they're set, as long as there's a great cast of characters to push the story. Planet Test is set in 2075 as humanity has began to stretch their space legs across the solar system, first stopping at the moon. But of course you know that wherever humanity goes, there's gonna be a trail of garbage following behind them. And in space, garbage can be very dangerous. It can actually pierce a hole in the hull of your spacecraft and kill you. A very terrible death if you've ever seen Alien 4. You know what I'm talking about. So as a result of all of this orbital garbage floating around the Earth, debris sections were created in order to clean it up. Basically, they just push it into the Earth's atmosphere and it burns up and disintegrates as long as it's not too big. That's right, people, Planet Test is the story of space janitors, proving that if you put the word space in front of any job description, it's instantly going to become 100 times more enjoyable or more exciting. Our story follows two main characters. One is Hashirota, the son of the famous space engineer. See what I did there? 100 times more exciting. But he's the son of a famous space engineer, and he's had his sights set on the stars ever since a young age, always wanting to own a spaceship of his own one day. Hashirota is joined by his partner in crime, Tanabe, because it takes two to commit workplace sexual harassment.
Hey girl, you like men with diapers?
But in all seriousness, Tanabe is new to the debris section, and what she lacks in experience, she makes up for with a big heart, which she often wears on her sleeve. The remainder of the characters within the debris section range in personalities from polar opposites, from being your pragmatic, uptight personality over to being just your clown of the bunch. And what made this group so special was that not only with our protagonists, but with the secondary and tertiary characters that were within the group, is that the majority of them had so much detail to them. Maybe they were given one episode or several episodes that we got to see a lot about their history, their goals, their weaknesses, their romances, their past romances, and there is just so much that we learned about many of these characters that I could have watched a show like this for 100 episodes, and sadly, you know, it's only in the 20s. Now, what makes Planet Test work so well as a slice of life anime is that even though this is set in the future, even though this is sci-fi, the technology that we see is not so bizarre that it distracts you from the characters' lives or their struggles. Everything that we see here seems as if it could be just a bit of a further development from technology that we have today. So it's nothing that's so bizarre and distracting or anything like that. It allows us to focus on the characters' lives and struggles, and the struggles that these characters have are things that we can experience still in our day-to-day lives. Maybe liking someone at work, maybe being in a relationship with somebody at work and it just didn't work out right, so it's kind of awkward around the office. There's always people who are looking down on you because your position isn't the highest and you have your pride, you have your goals, you know where you want to be in life, but you're still where you are and everybody's looking down on you because of that. Now, in addition to adding the struggles of the daily life, which Planet Test does very well, they also add this element of suspense, because you have to imagine that when you're in space, your job is very dangerous. You could float off, or just the smallest mistake could cost you your life, because it's a very dangerous environment. And also, there's the element of suspense in terms of the politics which are going on as well, because everyone is focusing on space. Not so many people are focusing their funds on Earth, and there are many areas which are starving, and these people are very desperate and resulting to terrorism, which is something something which is unfortunately not too far-fetched from the world that we live in today. Now, because this is set in space, and comparing this to many of the other space anime which I've seen, I almost always have the complaint of the creators didn't do much research. That's what leads to events such as characters being exposed to space without a helmet on, or maybe fish in outer space like we saw in Macross, but Planet Test seems to have done its research, and it seems to be very realistic in terms of outer space physics, as far as I can tell. And we should expect no less when it comes to Sunrise, considering the history they have and the experience they have with creating anime that are set in outer space, and they did a beautiful job of animating this show. Planet Test is easily, by far, my favorite slice of life anime. It's an anime which is a must-watch, and it's a story which is powerful enough to revive the lost love of old anime fans who may have become tired of the medium itself. This could easily spark a new love for the medium, as well as finding love for the medium in people who've never given it a proper chance. This is something that would work very well on the older audience, so if you have somebody you'd like to get into anime and they're a little bit older, then I recommending them Planet Test. This was an anime that I experienced something that I haven't experienced in quite a while. And I think the last time I felt this way was Legend of the Galactic Heroes, when I finished watching it and I felt sad. I felt like I needed to see more of these characters' lives. I had fallen in love with these characters and I just wanted to see more of the story. And even though it had a very powerful and strong ending to it, I still want to see more. Maybe I'll go ahead and read the manga, but let me know if you've seen Planet Test. What were your thoughts about it in the comments section below? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe for more anime reviews, news, and discussions every week. Thanks for watching. See you next time.